This is not unusual, changing a blade on a sawmill. But what is going to be unusual about this video is we're putting a blade on, a carbide blade that is virtually brand new. It was put on Tim's sawmill, and then inadvertently the saw head was lowered by accident, and it pinched the blade and broke it. And I welded it and fixed it, and then it broke again after I used it, I don't know, half a dozen times. Well, turns out it had several stress cracks in it. So I ground the stress cracks out, and this blade has got 3 welds in it. We don't know whether it's going to hold up or not. Brothers Outdoors, I'm Rick. I'm Tim.
In the shadow of the pines, where the air is crisp and cold, there's a story in the timber and a spirit that is bold. No city lights or sirens, just the mountains and the trees. Living simple, living honest, in the Adirondack breeze. Two brothers outdoors. Two brothers outdoors.
I'm kind of interested in to find out if it does. But what we're going to do with it is we're sawing some hemlock up for ourselves to repair our bridge, which was damaged this winter from the ice. The creek was high when it froze, and the ice kind of made things a mess on the bridge. So we're going to rebuild the bridge, or repair it, so to speak. And since I'm cutting stuff up for ourselves, I figured what's a better time to check this blade out than to check it on our own wood. Okay, so get this blade tightened up. I'm going to get a log on the mill, and you guys are going to witness whether this blade holds up or not. If it doesn't, oh well. If it does, all right. Okay, these carbide blades are a little bit thicker than the normal blades, so I have to readjust the guides. And what I did was I loosened this Allen screw right here. This is a 3/16 Allen wrench, and I get this all loosened up, get the sawdust cleared off of it. The way I adjust it is I hold this bottom shoe very lightly against the blade. And then I normally use a dollar bill. I don't have a dollar bill on me, so I'll use this really thin plastic card right here, and I'll lay it between the shoe and the blade, holding the bottom shoe just barely touching the blade, just a little bit of pressure. And then I will tighten it. Just going to snug it down, pull this out, and you'll see your blade has just a little bit of movement. And that should do it. That's the way I adjust these shoes. Now, everybody will tell you these are junk. They're not junk. I've got 1,000,000 board feet of timber that's gone through this mill, and these shoes are still the original shoes, and I have not had a bit of problem with them. The backer bearing, there's an 1/8 inch gap between the blade and this backer bearing right here, and each time I get done using the saw, I put a couple of drops of oil on top of the backer bearing, because what happens is your coolant runs out here. Coolant gets around the seals on these seal bearings. I don't care who makes them. I've gotten Timken, I've gotten different brand bearings, and coolant still gets past these seals, and these bearings will start to rust up and bind up. So if you put a couple drops of oil on top of this, it does away with that problem. Okay, I've tensioned the blade, and I'll leave it under tension for a minute, and then I'm going to run the machine and then retension it, make sure it holds its tension. And if it's going to break, maybe while it's running, it'll break. Another maintenance tip I'd like to pass along real quick. You have these bars right here that your mill head slides up and down on. I think pretty much all these manual mills have these guide bars. I've tried grease on this. I've tried Vaseline on this. Everything that you put on here, sawdust seems to stick to it, just makes a mess. What I started doing last year was I started taking a paintbrush and transmission fluid, and I raise the head. I paint this, both slides, raise the head up, paint the lower part, bring the head back down, and then repaint this again. I do that maybe once every 15 hours, and that keeps this nice and slick and keeps the mill head going up nice and smooth. All right, we're gonna let that blade run for a minute, and then I'll retension it, make sure it's still tensioned, put a log on the mill, and give it a try. Okay, it held up to its first test. All right, didn't stretch. Let's get a log on the mill and give her a try. Okay, it's not a very big log, but it's a 10-inch log, and we will get some 2x6s out of it. I'm hoping maybe about 5. Every 2x6 we can get will be used on the bridge. The log has an insignificant taper to it, so I'm not going to toe board it. I'm just going to lock it down, mark the ends of the log, and start cutting. The reason things are so quiet is my microphone went dead. When it goes dead, there's no sound. All right, guys, we're going to run it through, see if it breaks, and I'm going to stand down here out of the way. If it breaks, you're going to witness it right along with me. Unfortunately, because the mic went dead, you're going to miss the big bang if it breaks. Seems kind of funny to watch the sawmill run on a video and not hear any noise. Maybe I can imitate the sawmill running for you. Does that work? Does that sound like the sawmill? Trouble is, I can't keep it going without taking a breath. And the sawmill don't take a breath. Well, folks, it passed that test. It made its first pass through the log, and it did not break. I'm impressed. I'm impressed with my welding. All right, we're going to finish cutting up this log. I'm going to speed up the video, and if it breaks, I promise you I'll slow it down and show you the break. I'll even try to imitate the big bang for you. All right, guys, I'm pretty pleased. That blade did not break. It cut this hemlock up. Now, hemlock is not a hardwood, but it is one of the harder pines that we have in the Northeast. It's just a little bit softer than Doug fir, which is out west. I think there is one harder pine in the Northeast, and that's larch, but we don't have any larch locally here, so we use hemlock. I am very pleased that the blade held up. So we got some beech to cut up into steaks, and we got one large ash that we have to cut up. I don't know if we're going to quarter saw it or turn it into slabs for bar tops and stuff, but we will use this blade on that, and if it holds up on that, I'm going to be super impressed, because beech is a very hard wood, and so is ash. All right, I got the offcuts loaded on the tractor. We're going to load up these 2x6s on the tractor, take those down to the bridge, take the offcuts over to the firewood pile, cut them up, and we will be done with this project for today. Thanks for coming along. If you're not a subscriber, hit that subscription button. If you're coming to us on a cell phone, find that hype button and give us a hype. All right, guys, until the next one, we will catch you later. for me.